Hi, welcome to Undead Yarn. This is episode 44, and you get to see me with my hair and all its craziness at the end of the day. I'm so looking forward to the end of the school year, I can't tell you. And I thought it would be nice to record a podcast to kind of distract myself from all this stuff that's been going on. It's been a long time. This month I've been doing a lot of extra assessments for the school district to help out, and I finished those up last week. I still have a few assessments I may or may not even be able to complete before school year is over, but that's the end of the school year. You gotta do what you gotta do. You do what you can. So anyway, I have one work in progress. Since it's been a long time, I actually have a couple of, I have three FOs, three FOs. I have one work in progress, and it's been a long time since I've done a crochet project, but I'm crocheting the Skylark scarf, and so far it looks like this. And I am using Undead yarn in the Autism Awareness colorway, and this was a goof up. It ended up, I know there's some red in there somewhere, but it was very little red showed up in this one. So I figured I could have either redone it or just keep it, and I figured I wanted to knit with the Autism Awareness, or not knit, I'm crocheting, but I wanted to use the Autism Awareness colorway, so I decided I would use this one. So this is in my Silver Shed Autism Awareness bag. And here's the inside, chevrons. I think, I don't know if all the insides are the same on these bags. I've seen other people with bags, although other people do use this fabric, but this is a well-made bag. This is the smaller one. And I use a lot of the small bags since I do mostly fingering weight yarn projects. So that's my only work in progress. I do have several finished objects. I have, the first one I finished was my Quaker yarn stretcher that I made with Fiber Nymph Dye Works and Enclave of Yellows, and I think it came out lovely. It still needs to be blocked. I'm terrible about blocking things. I don't know why, but I knit. Right now I have 3 shawls that need to be blocked, and one of them I did like 2 years ago. I did like 2 years ago, and I still haven't blocked it. So I was joking with my husband that one of these days I'm going to have a block party weekend to get them all done. So that is another finished object. And this one is, oh, and that was, the pattern for that was by Susan Ashcroft. And this is another finished object I have, which is the Whiz Popper shawl. And this is also an Undead yarn. This is in the Others colorway, and it's in my DK base, which is 100% merino. It's not superwash. In there you can see the colors really well. It's grays and blues and ecru. And I modified the edging on this. I'm not a fan of applied edgings. They not only take a long time, I don't always like the way they look, so I changed the edging. And here is my other finished object. These are the Georgia on My Mind socks by Leslie of the Knit Girls. You know, You Don't Call Me Less on Ravelry. And here is, you can see they mirror each other. And this one is an Undead yarn as well. This is the Monster 80s colorway. That's what it looks like. So those are my finished objects. I do have a finished object for spinning too. Well, actually, I'm still have more to spin, but remember I had spun up that Gritty Knits Corriedale cross. It's a Corriedale cross, and I applied it with some just domestic wool that I had dyed gray, and I think it came out lovely because it's got like neon Corriedale that has the neon colors in it. and then I plied it with the gray. So this is what it looks like. And so far I think I have like 137 yards. I still have a lot more to apply, but here's the first skein. So that's it for my FOs and my finished objects. I did want to mention that Melissa from San Antonio won a skein of my yarn for the shawl along, and she has not contacted me yet. Excuse me, you have until the end of the month to contact me. And if I don't hear from you, then I'm going to go ahead and pull somebody else from that thread. Somebody else might be the winner. And I think I'm going to do that from now on. I'm just going to announce on the podcast the winners, and then if you contact me within a month, you'll be able to claim the prize, because I don't get to watch the podcast all the time, but I do want podcast winners to actually be the people, or podcast watchers to actually be the people who are winning. Weeks in review. A lot of things have happened in the last couple of weeks. My grandmother passed away a couple of weeks ago, and that's why I haven't podcasted for a while. I didn't think I was going to be sad, but I was kind of sad. It's just weird to think I won't see her anymore. She had crocheted a bunch of, I guess they're I don't know, I didn't count how many sides they have. Probably hexagons. But she crocheted a bunch of these. I actually have a whole crate full of them over in the corner. And some of them, there's a couple that have stains on them. I'm sure I'm in this crochet group that people talk about clearing up doilies. I'm guessing I can probably bleach them or something, because some of them do have some discoloration. Either that, or I guess I could always not use those, but I think I guess I'll start with all the ones that still look like they don't have any stains on them, and then after that I'll figure it out. But anyway, she passed away, and I was a little sad. And then that same week I brought my dog to the vet, and I brought him to the vet because he was having some twitching in his mouth, and the vet told me both of his eyes needed to be removed. And I thought that was really drastic, and I still think it's really drastic. He has glaucoma, and they said once you get glaucoma in one eye, it usually spreads to the other, so they wanted to take both eyes out. I could see them taking one eye out, but I don't know about taking both of them out, and I don't know, it just seems very drastic to me. So if anybody has any advice on dogs, and if your dog has had glaucoma and what you think you could do, let me know. That'd be helpful. I also, what else did I do? Oh, we had another one of my knitting meetups, and Bookish Stitcher and Dark Matter Knits both came, which was really nice. It was really nice to see them. It's a small group, and we meet in the Domain in Austin. And then after that, I spent some time with Jeanette from Bookish Stitcher. We went to a yarn shop after. We had lunch. The three of us had lunch, and then after that, we went to Jeanette and I went to a yarn shop, and I was very good. I only bought one skein of yarn, and it was a shopping wool. Here it is. Let me lean over and grab it. And it's a rainbow colored. And this one is I think it's a 2-ply. It's cool because it looks like hand spun. It's got the barba pulling, and I kind of like that. I don't know what this is going to be yet, but I bought it. And I also have a class coming up. I bought a class, and I'll talk about that when it gets closer. Unfortunately, I realized after I bought the class it's the same weekend that I'm going to Louisiana to see my family and to go to my grandma's memorial, so I guess that will be a quick trip, but I really want to go. So anyway, I'll talk about that another time. What else has been going on? Getting to the end of the school year. I don't know. This is going to be a scattered podcast. I just thought I would podcast since I hadn't done it in so long. And there's a lot of things I want to talk about. So I figured I'll just go ahead and wing it. I did have some notes, but I didn't finish taking notes. So I guess I could show you acquisitions and other things. This is, I was very proud of this. It's not the best job, but I made a bag on my new sewing machine. And I used a tutorial that was on Craftsy. It was a free tutorial. I guess I'll link it in the Ravelry group. I forget what it is called and who did it, but the nice thing is that they should go step by step through everything. So if you forget something, because I watched it all the way through, and then when I went back to do it, I couldn't remember everything, so I went back and looked. And they do provide pattern notes in the class too. So here's my first bag I made on my new sewing machine, which was nice. And I also, I have actually have quite a bit of enabling. In the last couple of weeks I bought this from Fondant Fiber. And it's a set of all different kinds of wool. My husband must be home. I hear the dogs barking. It's a set of different kinds of wool. This one, it says Devon, Herdwick, Kent, I can't read that right there, Kent, Romney, Black Welsh, Swaledale, Texel, and Corriedale. And I blame Fibertrek. I watch her podcast, and she has been participating in something called the Hap-Along with Knit British. And I guess I think that she is spinning a whole bunch of different kinds of fibers, and then she's going to make a shawl with it. And she's trying to use rare breeds, but I know that she had bought some kit like this or something from Fondant Fibers, or she's received things from Fondant Fibers. And when I saw that they had this mix of all these different kinds of wool, I thought that would be really cool to spin. And actually, I would like to make a shawl out of this. So that's my first thing I bought. I also bought from Fiber Nymph Dye Works. I'm not going to open it, it's kind of shut tight. I believe, let's see, this is the Dark Fire Color Block Gradient. And I got a free copy of Cowl Pattern by Lisa, Fiber Nymph. I haven't downloaded it yet, but I guess I should do that soon. And I'm not sure if I'm going to use this to make that cowl or if I'm going to use it for something else. But the nice thing is this was dyed specifically for the cowl, I believe. So I may decide to do that. I have a lot of cowls though. I've been knitting a lot of cowls lately, so we'll see. And I also I've been eyeing Countess Ablaze for ages, and I finally bought some. This is her Nerds Prefer Their Rainbows Darker, and it's Shetland, Merino, and Black Baby Alpaca. 3.5 ounces. Look at the color. It's a black with these really cool neon-y colors on it. Oh, I can't wait to spin it. I haven't opened it yet, but I know it's going to be really soft. It's got alpaca in it. Oh. Let's see, what else do I have? I did buy, I bought this book, and it's 154 wave crochet patterns, and I bought it, I think I bought it at Hobby Lobby. Yeah, it was on sale at Hobby Lobby. And I wanted this because I'm interested in making a ripple blanket, and I know I probably have a ripple blanket pattern somewhere, but I like that this has all different kinds. It's not just one kind, so I'm probably going to use this when I decide to make the crochet blanket. I'm not sure when I'm going to do that yet. And look, I bought some fabric, and I've always wanted a bag in this fabric, but I haven't been able to find anybody who still who would make it, that had it, so I just went ahead and bought it, because now this time I have my own fabric. And I also went to a new yarn shop in Austin, and it's called, where's the tag? I thought I had the tag in here. It's called Me and You. And I bought, they have fabric and they have yarn. So I bought this fabric. I thought maybe I could use it for the inside of the bag. Use it for the inside of this. They had red, but which would have completely matched, but I kind of wanted a little bit of a contrast, so I think this will go well with it. There's some green in there too. So I'm planning to put these together to make a bag. And then I also, while I was there, let's show you, I can show you their logo. Me and You. And they're on Woodrow Avenue. And here is the yarn I bought. And I had never heard of this dyer before, but I fell in love with the color, and then I found out it's a lace weight, that it was 1,500 yards. Ooh. And it's a good price. And it is, the dyer is dye for yarn. And this is 70% wool, 20% silk, and 10% cashmere. And it is just beautiful. It's like a purple. It's kind of a neon-y purple. I'm not sure if the camera is picking it up correctly, but so I really like this. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with it yet, but I always am eyeing lace shawls. It's been a while since I've done one because it requires a lot of concentration, and I haven't been able to do that lately, but I will get there. I think, is that all I had for acquisitions? I think so. And right now I don't really have a lot of other things to say. I know I do have a lot of things to talk about, but I'm going to have to sit down and plan out a better podcast. So I don't know, maybe next week I'll podcast again. We'll see. Either next week or the week after, maybe after school's out, because we have this week and next week, so maybe in 2 weeks I'll podcast again. But I wanted to get something out there because it's been a long time. We do still have the Autism Awareness Knit Along, Crochet Along going on in all those 4 groups I told you about: Fiber Town, Nicola's World, Penhook and Needles. Penhook and Needles are the ones who started it, and in my group as well. And you need to knit something bright colors, and you can put them in the finished object thread in any of our groups if you're in the groups. And this month I'm giving away a $7 or less pattern, so get your FOs in my thread. And I don't really have too much more to say about that. Like I said, I just wanted to get something out there because it's been a long time, but I will podcast again soon, probably in a couple of weeks. So get busy knitting or get busy dyeing.